when we speak about wise person going beyond good and bad, we are speaking about wise person is someone who knows the union of relative truth and ultimate truth. This is kind of fundamental for Buddhism. It's like this, okay. Let's talk about ethic, because ethic is an important subject, right? Doing the right thing, morality. So the ethic or the morality falls into the department of what we call merit. Okay, so it's really, really big. I mean, for instance, we can even take one ethic is not to kill. Why we don't kill? Because why I should not kill? Because I love my life. So the other person must love their life too. So I don't want to do to this person what I don't want someone else doing to me. Okay, so that's how it is. So then I take, and I want to do this not killing thing. I want to do it seriously. So how should we do this? And this is what also in Buddhism we call it skillful means. We take vow not to kill. And it's a really smart way to accumulate merit. Absolutely smart. Because anyway, we are not going to go around killing people, are we? Right now, you don't go around killing people. Not because you are such a great, compassionate being. Not because of that. Because, I don't know, you are lazy. Because, killing people takes, a bit of energy and a bit of a work. And also, it costs money, So maybe you don't have enough money, you don't have time, and also you don't want to go to prison. And, it's also, deprives sleep, I guess, some lot of other things. But those who have not taken a vow of not killing, when you are not killing, you are not accumulating merit. Let's say you are a farmer and you have a plot of field. It's sitting there. You're not plowing. That's it. You have a plot of land, but nothing is growing. So this is what we call skillful means. So we take a vow, I shall not kill from here. And then, by the way, Buddhist vows are very flexible. It can be like, I shall not kill from tonight till sunrise. There are many vows like that. Or things like, I shall not lie during all the Wednesdays. Stuff like this. You can custom make, so to speak. Okay? Once you take the vow, then you accumulate merit, even while you are sleeping. Without, when you are sleeping, you are not killing, so you still accumulate merit. It's a bit like, it regenerates. It generates the merit. Okay. Now, not killing, not stealing, not lying. These things you may find in many religions. But, yes, so superficially very similar. But what makes the Buddhist union of merit and wisdom so different is because of the wisdom. So, ethic, basically what I'm saying is ethic without the wisdom in Buddhism is concealing the truth. So ethic without the wisdom is actually, remember I was telling you, those who are idiot, they will go to do good things and go to heaven. That's what it is. So let's say you are dreaming. In your dream, you saw somebody hiding a bag of diamond. And in your dream, you notice there's nobody. In your dream, you notice that there's nobody watching you, watching this guy hiding the diamond. Only you know. this is a good time to steal. And especially if you recognize this person who is hiding the diamond is a gangster, gang boss, who has killed a lot of people, he's a bad guy. So now you feel, oh, I can be the Robin Hood, like, from him, if I steal, it's okay, because he's a bad guy. Or another way around is, no, I should not steal. Stealing is not good. Okay, so that's pure ethic or morality, not steal. Now, apply the Buddhist wisdom. It's in the dream, right? It's there, but it's not there. You can still continue not steal if you don't want. So we are talking about the union of the merit and the wisdom. There is no bag of diamond. In reality, it's just a dream. So your act of stealing or not stealing is also there, but also not there. This is a really important aspect of the Buddhist, what we call wisdom and method. It's kind of it's quite vast, and it's really suppose it's. If you don't have that, what will happen? Okay, so I will tell you this. If you don't have this wisdom part, then you become puritanical, righteousness, all this starts. So like a generosity, for instance. The generosity will only be able to practice by rich people. So how do poor people practice generosity? Because you are not taught, you know what I mean? If you have to measure the generosity based on actually giving something and totally forgetting the wisdom part, then the path, there's no okay, so what makes a coffee a coffee? There has to have some water, and there has to have beans, the roasted beans. The bottom line, a Buddhist practice must, to qualify a Buddhist practice, it has to have the method and the wisdom united. Okay, so going back to my example of me going to a temple with a flower. Okay, this is the method. Offering, rose flower. Okay, so let's say I'm a kind of a mediocre practitioner. And because I'm a mediocre practitioner, my wisdom is not that high. But little bit there, it's little bit, I have. So I may think like this. I will offer this rose flower because human beings think rose flower is special. And I only have one rose. My colleague has 500 roses. Number 1 and 500 is there, but not there. So it doesn't matter. I accumulated similar merit as him. You understand? Actually, this is what the Buddhists do. Sometimes they don't even have rose. They don't even need rose. They imagine there's a rose flower I'm offering. And they say, perfectly fine. This is a path. They imagine. So to make a Buddhist path, you have to have these two elements. Because otherwise, as I give you the example, the one who has a 500 rose will always, then the Buddhist practice will become really like a capitalist kind of thing. You understand? The poor always suffers, the rich always wins everything. Then it won't be good. Yeah, this reflects to many, many Buddhist practice. I don't know how many of you have been to the East, for instance. If you have been to the East, some, let's say, Buddhist temples, there you will see monks with shaved head, like nuns, shaved head. They're venerated. They are yogis. They keep hair. So now you go like, which one is the real practice? Keep hair or no hair? Doesn't matter. Both are important. I mean, both are equally respected. And then there are things like some practitioners are very austere, simply living, begging alms, not exceeding the belonging, what the Vinaya prescribed are 13 necessary objects. Things like toothbrush, slippers. There are many practitioners who just live with this means. They are very venerated. But there are also practitioners who are kings and queens and merchants, gold ring, like a diamond ring, whatever. They're also venerated. Now, if you go even more towards the tantric practitioners, then it is even more, mind-boggling. One would think, Buddhist, they should all be sitting straight, all smiling, talking gently, behaving. But if you look at the, especially tantric, tantric practitioners, their behaviors and their attitudes are infinite. For instance, there's even there's some, in the tantric Buddhism, we have like, like our sort of model practitioners, we call them, like 80 Mahasiddhas. For instance, one of the Mahasiddha, when he was not a Mahasiddha, he went to another Mahasiddha to receive teaching. And he was a pathological liar. He just can't help. He had to lie all the time. And he told his master, I have a really bad habit. I just have to lie. And the master said, okay, take a vow. From now on, you will never tell truth. That's a difficult practice, And that's what he practiced. And he became one of the Mahasiddha. The reason why I'm telling you this story is, can you see why this is possible? Because of the wisdom. See, if you have no wisdom, then that guy, the lying Mahasiddha, he was the worst. Because not lying is the ultimate, isn't it? But because of the wisdom, everything goes, sort of, also. So this union of the merit and the wisdom is the backbone of the Buddhist practice. So many practices exist in the Mahayana and the Vajrayana like that. Like many times when I do a practice called mandala offering, I have offered many times Mount Machu Picchu, many times. Machu Picchu, it doesn't even belong to me, but I offer it again and again. And I'm so happy to do it, and I'm very confident that I've accumulated so much merit through offering Machu Picchu with many lamas, the animals, lamas. Because it's like this. For me, Machu Picchu is, I don't know, just my personal, I have a romantic feeling with this Machu Picchu thing. In the mandala offering, there's something called a wish-fulfilling cow. I have no feeling with wish-fulfilling cow. I'm sure about 2,000 years ago in India, those Indians must have thought a big deal out of those cows. But for me, nothing at all. I'm telling you this again because the Buddhist path is wisdom and the method united. This is why Machu Picchu is, I can offer Machu Picchu. Just as 2,000 years ago, somebody could offer wish-fulfilling cow. I think if I offer wish-fulfilling cow, I think I'll have less merit. I don't see the value of it so much. But personally for me, this is all personal, okay? It's all personal. It's all in my head. And it doesn't matter because I'm the one who is practicing. And to tell you the truth, I know nothing about Machu Picchu. I know a little bit about how it's related to Incas, but I just have that feeling. That feeling started when I was like, I think around 17. I was reading Tintin comic book. And there, in the Tintin comic book, there's a Machu Picchu setup. And I don't know, ever since I hear the Machu Picchu and the Incas and the Indians, I always feel so, I don't know, for no good reason, I feel very, sort of emotional and all of that. So emotional, actually. Several occasions, I have actually, for who knows what reason, I have found myself defending, because my colleagues, my other friends, lamas, rinpoches, they have heard that some Incas or some other tribes, they sacrifice human beings. So I find myself in the defending department. Oh, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with the sacrificing human beings? It's okay. I heard in Mexico there's a certain Indian, culture or a civilization where they have a certain game they play, ball. Whoever wins, their head gets chopped off. What a fantastic idea! I thought. That's like, wow. Totally the opposite of how we think. I mean, right now, if you are asking me, I will be trying so hard to lose this game, of course. But this is what I mean. It's just incredible way of thinking. But anyway, see, so practice is something so personal. Anyway, Machu Picchu, Incas, all those games, they are there, but it's also not there. It's all illusion. Okay, so I hope this have explained a little bit about the second union. But just to extend a little bit, so the merit really plays such an important role. First of all, karma plays an important role. And karma is so, it's so, because karma is basically, it's just so much, it is the dependent arising. It's so dependent. Americans have a karma to have presidents such as Trump. Not only Americans, even a parrot in Amazon is connected to, even a parrot's karma is dependent on this. Because of Trump, that parrot's grandson may be in jeopardy in Amazon. There's also individual karma and a group karma. Just like in this room, all of you and me think this is a flower, group karma, group projection. But individually, some of you, when you see this, you may be feeling romantic. Others might not want to be too close because you're allergic. That's a group, this is how the karma functions. It really plays an important role in everything what we do. Communication. Okay, so because the merit is karma, because it's a good karma, whether you have the chance to hear the Dharma or not. And even if you have the chance, how much ability you have to understand, it depends on the merit. And especially within the Dharma, if you want to understand more profound level of the Dharma, such as shunyata, emptiness, you need merit. subjects such as a shunyata, one cannot really read book and talk. You can understand a little bit, but really to understand totally the shunyata needs merit. In fact, there's a two great teachings called Mahamudra or Mahasandhi. Chajachembo and Dzogchembo, yeah, Mahamudra and Mahasandhi. They both the masters have said again and again. When you study Buddha Dharma, there are two challenges. One is because it's complicated. The other is opposite, too simple. The complicated one, you can study a little bit, then you can understand. The simple one, you cannot study because it's too simple. More you study, more you lose. It's so simple and so close. Like eyelashes, you don't see. So how do you do this? Now how do we understand the simple one? Merit. If you have the merit, you just know it. And then, it's like, they call it Kukbe Puram Yongwashin. It's like, you will understand like a mute eating a sweet. You know like how sweet it is, but how to express.
A mute eating a sweet.
Sweet. You know the experience, but you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to express. This it is, this very, very, very simple ones. Actually, so the complicated one and the simple one is much more difficult to decipher. So for that, you need merit. I think this is the part the academics don't understand. This is, academics always think that, you go to the laboratory, you read lots and lots of books, you do research, talk to people, you will understand. Yes, you will understand the complicated ones, but not the simple ones. And I'm sure in your life, this has happened several times. Not Dharma, maybe not necessarily Dharma, but just anything. I don't know, whatever. You must have discovered something so simple, so close. Like you think, why didn't I know this like 20 years ago? Yeah, merit plays important role. There's one practitioner, one great accomplished being. What happened was he saw a dead leaf from a tree falling. And he thought, wow, this fell. And somehow it triggered him and he just practiced and he achieved enlightenment. How many dead leaves must have fallen in front of my eyes? Still nothing. Things like this, like a Siddhartha, the prince, the Buddha. He went out of the palace. He saw a death. And he just asked, what is that? And when his driver said, this is a death, it just triggered something. And he just left the palace and he became Buddha. So the merit is really powerful. If you don't have the merit, no matter how much you are studying, you are surrounded by teachers or whatever, it's not going to work. If you have the merit, you could just have some ayahuasca. And then for 6 hours, you feel it's there, but it's not there. And then you realize, wow, this is how the life is. And then from there, you can take off.